During the last lesson, we learned with you about the measures and bar line. The measure is the room that was created on the grand staff to put notes inside and keep them organized. So the measure is the distance between two walls that calls in music bar line. In this song, we have 6 measures. Let's count them. Measure 1, measure 2, measure 3, measure 4, measure 5, and measure 6. The wall that divides the measures into the rooms, called bar line, goes from the treble clef staff all the way to the bass clef staff. The measure is all this space for the treble clef and bass clef notes combined together. To keep the notes organized and know how many of them can fit inside one measure, the time signature is placed right next to the clef. To keep the notes organized, and we should know how many of them we can write inside one measure, the time signature will be placed right next to the clefs, next to the treble clef, next to the bass clef. The top number will tell you how many notes can be inside one measure. Number 2 means 2 notes inside one measure. Number 4 stands for the quarter note. So it means that every measure gonna have 2 beats. How many measures do we have in this song? Take your pencil, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The time signature can change in different songs. You can have 3, 4, 3 beats in one measure, means 3 quarter note inside one measure, or some other song might have 4, 4 time signature, 4 beats in one measure, 4 quarter note inside one measure. Since we learned about time signature, our count will slightly change. Instead of giving 1, 1 for every quarter note, we just will count how many quarter notes we have in every measure. Look at your time signature. Number 2 on top tells you that in every measure you will count 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Take a pencil, point to the notes heads, and call their names. C, C, D, D, E, E, D, D, C, C, B, B, A, B, C. Tap and count the rhythm according to your time signature. In this song we have 2 beats, so in every measure we're gonna count 1, 2, 1, 2. Prepare your hands on your lap. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now tap the rhythm. Instead of calling the rhythm out, the count out loud, we're gonna say the notes names. C, C, D, D, E, E, D, D, C, C, B, B, A, B, C, 2. Look at the music. We got new symbol, time signature. We have in 2 beats. Before you start, count to empty measure just with the beats. 1, 2, 1, 2. So set up a steady beat for yourself. Look at the first note. You're starting with the middle C, finger 2 in the right hand. Left hand will join with the finger 2 on middle C. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Play one more time. This time, name the notes. 1, 2, 1, 2. C, C, D, D, E, E, D, D, C, C, B, B, A, B, C, 2. Always remember, carefully observe your arms and wrist movements between the notes. Imagine you have a butterfly. Your hand is like a butterfly that flies from one key into the next.